Hold on. I gotta use this Renfest sword that I bought like 4 years ago for the thumbnail here. Oh, interesting thing that it also came with this little belt here, whatever the technical term for that is. But I'm just gonna feed that right there, like so, and then we'll just swing that on over. Wait, hold on. There we go. I'm keeping that on for the rest of the video. So the first episode of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is out. It's here. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, if you don't know, is the newest spin-off of Game of Thrones. It takes place something like, I don't know, what was it, like 90 years before Game of Thrones? Start off by being transparent. I've only read A Game of Thrones. I haven't read the other 4 books in the Song of Ice and Fire saga. I haven't read Fire and Blood. Haven't read the Tales of Dunk and Egg. So my knowledge of Westeros outside of that first Song of Ice and Fire book really just boils down to what I've seen in 8 seasons of Game of Thrones and 2 seasons of House of the Dragon, and then now this first episode of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. In A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, you have Sir Dunk entering a little tourney. He's having his little gambit moment of, woo,
I'm about to make a name for myself here.
and then this first episode is really just him figuring himself out, trying to figure out the world that he's about to enter with this tourney here. It's pretty much the gist. But yeah, I think this show's off to a pretty solid start. It's a lot lighter than Game of Thrones is. It's a lot funnier, which, to be honest, I kind of appreciate, because I just spent 2 months rewatching Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. Something that's a bit more jovial and lighter and funnier. I welcome that with open arms. It's a nice change of pace that I didn't really know that I needed, so I appreciated it. I do like Peter Claffey. I like how he's a guy who's like so tall. He's very self-conscious. He's not really officially a knight. He squired for a knight who died, and he is claiming that that knight knighted him. But, you know, for the most part, he's kind of bumbling around the Seven Kingdoms. He's doing a Gandalf and bonking his head on doorways as he's trying to walk in because he's so freaking huge. But this whole first episode is just establishing a tone, establishing a different side of Westeros that we haven't really seen before. I do like those scenes with Lionel Baratheon, because Lionel Baratheon he's a lot like Robert. It's like, you can see the Baratheon heritage in Lionel. Not quite like Stannis or Renly, who are very like stoic and Renly wasn't that stoic. He was a little more lighter too, until that shadow monster stabbed him in the chest. But, you know, Stannis was very brooding. He was very menacing. He was a man on a mission. And Lionel pretty much just reminds me of what Robert would be like if he wasn't slamming 5 Big Macs a day. The scene where he's dancing around in his tent kind of makes me think that's what Robert would move like if he wasn't the fat bastard that he was. And I like the end of the episode. We don't really see a lot of Egg here. We get a glimpse of him in the beginning of the episode and a glimpse of him at the end of the episode. The relationship, the chemistry between Peter Claffey and Dexter Soul Ansel, it's incredible. Kind of amazing. And we only get 2 brief glimpses of it. But those brief glimpses, if that's what the relationship is going to be like throughout the show, I'm really looking forward to it. And I like that scene at the end when Dunk and Egg are under the tree and they're just kind of looking up at the stars and they see a shooting star, and Egg says something about like, well, it's good luck to all the people who see it. I think of all those other knights who are in their pretty silk tents. That's what they're staring up at. They're staring up at the silk roof of a tent, not staring up at the stars like we are. And as Egg starts to go to sleep, Dunk kind of thinks on that, and he's like, wow, it's good luck. It's good luck only to the people who see it. Wow. And he looks up and he thinks of the adventures to come, and that's the episode. That's pretty solid start. I am definitely looking forward to watching this every week. And apparently the other episodes are only supposed to be like half an hour. So in that, I don't know that I'm really going to talk about the show week to week. I might. Don't hold me to this. I'm not guaranteeing. But I might do shorter form, quick little thoughts on TikTok for episodes 2 through 5, and then just do a review of the season as a whole at the end of episode 6. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking out loud right now. Anyway, yeah, Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, off to a solid start. Already renewed for a season 2 that is slated to come out next year. Yeah, you heard that right. A season of television slated to come out 1 year after its previous season. Real TV is back. So anyway, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, episode 1. Have you seen it? What'd you think about it? Whatever you think, you can sound off in the comments. And if you like what you're seeing, you can click right here And... Ow! Fuck! Alright, that didn't work. I'll see you guys next time.